Okay, so the way you get started here, over on this corner here, there's the Windows icon, and then up here, AutoCAD 2018, just click on that guy, and it brings up the program, okay? If you want to download this, you can download this at home, and if you get the light version, you're fine. We're not doing anything that's really nutso here, so we're good. So I'm going to go Open Files. So come over here to Open Files, and you can go up to File as well, but just Open Files, and then I'm going to go to my desktop, and I'm going to send you guys a file called Architecture 22 Concrete Block Student Setup Drawing. Okay, so I've set up a lot of the drawing for you. I've set up a template for you with the paper and everything, so it should be pretty well good to go, okay? And so I'm going to click on that guy, and there it is, and just say open, and there it is, okay? So this is the basic file that I've given for you. So this line, the red line around the outside, is an 11 by 17 piece of paper, got it? Down here, so you don't forget, I have a bunch of information you're gonna go and change, okay? So the first thing you do, once you get this up here, once it comes up, very first thing you do, you go over to this A here, click on it, and do Save As, and we're going to save as a drawing, and what you're going to do is you're going to go to your USB. So I'm going to go Desktop, I'm going to go to my USB drive, and wherever you want to put it, right, I'm just going to put it on there, and you're going to change the name of it, okay? So you can say Architecture 22, and then first we're going to do the standard plan. So I'm going to just highlight that and call that standard. Okay, and that's on my drive, and I hit save. And then what happens is come on up here and make sure it has your flash drive and says the name of the drawing right there. So now you haven't messed with that template at all, okay? You haven't messed with that template at all. So I'm ready to go. Okay, now moving around this thing just works like a regular mouse. You move around the drawing like that. Now to go in and out, to go closer to something, all you do is, if I want to go closer to this, I move over towards that, get over towards that, and then use the wheel, and I go like this, and I can get in close there. See what I've done for you? I've already put in the stuff. You don't have to worry about the size of the lettering or any of that stuff, right? You don't have to change any of that stuff. Again, I don't expect you guys to be draftsmen or draftswomen when you're done with this. I mean, you're just, right? You just learn how to use this tool a little bit, right? And then to go out, same thing, okay? Wherever your cursor is, you're going to go towards that. So if I go over here, see what happens? It goes straight towards the center of the cursor. See that? Okay. So that's how you can do that. Now, if you want to move around from side to side, just push the wheel down, and you can move it side to side. Okay. So that's how you can get in and out and move around the drawing rather easily. Okay. If you get in real close, you can see I've set up some grids for you here as well. Okay. And I've have them turned on. So right down here it says grid mode on, and right here it says snap mode on. And you see a little parentheses F9 and F7. They work by toggles. Okay, what's a toggle? Anybody know? Toggle, it's either on or off. Got it? Toggle turns it on, toggle turns it off. On or off. Two states there, on or off. Okay, so all you have to do is if you want that off, F7, I can hit F7 up on the top, and you'll see that's now white. So it's off. Blue means it's on, and it'll tell you grid's on, and white, the grid is off. Okay, so we're going to leave that on, and not only that, I've also set up some snap for you. So what that means is right now, and if I go F9 on this, okay, I can turn it on and off. Right now, it will move around to every every 2-inch dimension. I think I have that. Let me see what I have that set at. Snap settings. So yeah, I'm going to the even 2-inch dimension on this thing. So F9 turns that on or off. Okay, and I'm going to leave that like that. Okay, so since this is the standard plan, I'm going to go and change this stuff first. I'll show you how to do one. You can do all the rest yourself. I'm going to go in close there, okay? And if I want to change any of those, excuse me just a minute. Got all you people here. Here we go. So I'm going to change the title of this to standard plan, okay? So I'm going to hit ED, and it brings up that. Just hit enter, and that is the shortcut key for text edit. And then you select your text, and you see it kind of highlights it, right? Then just type standard plan and hit enter. Okay. Well, now it kind of keeps me in that command. So if I want to change, I want to keep going. I don't hit anything. It says select annotation object. So annotation means text, and so I select that, and the scale is going to be 1/4 inch equals 1 foot dash 0 inches, and you do your name, your class, semester. Got it? When you're done with all of that, then just hit enter, and now you're out of that command. Okay? So change all of that like you need to, get that all set, and now you're ready to get going. Okay? So on this guy here, what you're going to do is you're going to use your scale, and you're going to use 1/4 inch equals a foot scale, and you're going to start putting those dimensions on there. Okay? So I'm going to start drawing this guy here. And so I'm going to start over this way, come down this way, that way, and I'm just going to do the exterior walls first, okay? Now, if I'm doing the walls, what thickness do I want for the walls? White, right. I'm going to want those things rather thick, okay? So up here, you will see right now it's set for red. So anything I draw is going to be red. So all I have to do is just come up here, click on that, go down, and don't use these colors up here, use these colors down here. Right now it's on red, I'm going to click white. Got it? So now when I draw, it's going to be white. So this first wall is going to be 22.5 feet. Okay, 22.5 feet. So I'm going to start with line, click line, and it tells you what to do down here. Line, specify the first point. Now if you take a look, it tells you where you are coordinate-wise. 13 feet 6, 23, 4. And so it's at the even 2-inch dimension. I'm just going to start anywhere here. Just pick a spot, okay? Click. Okay, now when I go, it's telling me how long of a line segment I'm doing now. 15 foot 2, whatever, and so you can take it out. Now, if you're really good, you can hold this to where it says 0 degrees, right? And so if you get it out going 0 degrees, and I want it 22 feet 6, which is 22.5 feet, right? Okay. AutoCAD automatically knows, or automatically assumes inches unless you tell it different. So if you put 15 in there, it's going to assume you mean 15 feet. If I put 22.5, it's going to assume I mean 22.5 inches, unless I tell it feet. So make sure if you're doing feet, you put the foot mark in with that, okay? Now, if you take a look, I can actually draw in any direction I want, can't I? Right? To lock it in, and if you take a look, a lot of our floor plans are basically, you know, straight across, up and down, right? Okay. There is a button, and it is right down here. Remember those two other little ones? We had the toggles. There's another toggle right there, and it has a kind of an L shape with a square down in the corner. That means it's for 90-degree corners. If I hit that, I come down there and hit that, turn that on, watch what happens. See? Now it locks that in only those two directions, either side to side or up and down, right? So that way I know I'm for sure I'm doing that. By the way, the toggle for that, if I go down over here, if you take a look, the toggle for that is F8. So you can turn it on and off. F8, it's off, it's on, off, on, off, on. Got it? Okay. So I'm going to get that going in that direction, and I'm going to go 22.5, and need to make sure you hit the foot on there. See, right now it says inches. I'm going to hit that, 22.5 feet, hit enter. There it is.
When you did foot, did you press F or the apostrophe?
No, just the apostrophe on there. Yeah, it's right next to the enter key, there's the foot key, and then right above that is inches. Okay, and then now I'm going to come down this direction, so I'll measure down here, and I'm going to come down, oh, that's about, 12.4-ish. Okay, so I'm going to come down here, and we can input, I'm going to go down that way, so I'm going to start my line down that way. I didn't tell it how far yet, right? I'm just starting down in that direction. I'm going to tell it 12 feet dash 4 inches. 12 feet 4 inches. See that? And hit enter. There it is. 12 feet 4.
Then you have to put the inches on the last one, and then those previous one's feet, right?
Yeah. Well, I put feet on the first one.
No, I'm talking about on that last dimension, because you put inches on the 4, it knows the previous numbers.
I put feet on the first one. I put 20. I put 17
No, I'm
feet.
saying, did you put, when you did that last dimension, you just put 12 dash 4 inches, right?
Did I do that, or did I do? Did I put feet in there?
I don't think you put feet in there in the first
I thought
one.
I did. So this dimension here is looks like about 5 feet, and so I'll come down, or I'm sorry, I need to come this direction first. Don't I? So this direction here is 8.5 feet. So I'll come over here, started going in the proper direction, say 8.5 feet. Enter, and I said this one was down 5 feet, right? 5 feet. Enter. See how fast this is? It's not, doesn't take long at all, right? And remember the top was 22.5, right? Right, okay. So 22.5 minus 8.5 would leave me about, what, 14 feet? Okay, so double check your dimensions again. So 14 feet, this direction, 14 feet, enter. And now I want to go back to where I started, okay? Well, hopefully you can, you can do that. There's a couple ways you can do this, okay? If I'm going in a loop and I want to go back to where I started, all you have to do is hit C and enter. It means close. So it goes back from where you started, okay? Another way of doing this, and I'm gonna take this off of the ortho. I'm gonna hit F8, so I'm moving all around. See how I'm moving all around? Okay. If you want to get to the end of a line, to an intersection, to a midpoint of a line, or anything like that, what you do is, the way to do that is hold the shift key down, and then I use the right mouse button, and now it gives me the option. I can now go to the end point, and so I'm going to tell it, okay, I want to go to the end point, and now watch what happens. When I get close to that line, see how I get that little green box there? That tells me that I am at that end point. Got it?
You said that was shift and what?
And you don't let go until you're ready.
Shift right mouse button. And then I just go over when I'm close to it. When I see that green box, click, there it is. Okay? And I'm all done with those outside lines, so I'm gonna hit escape. Escape gets you out of any command. So, and I use it, I click it several times. Make sure I'm out of the stinking command, right? And so now, there I have that. That's fairly well centered, but it could be a little bit more centered, couldn't it? Yeah, I'm kind of off to this side, a little bit low maybe, so I'm going to move this thing, okay? So to move anything, M for move, M, move, hit enter, and then it says select objects. So you can select them one by one. So there's a few objects here, okay? Another faster way of doing that, to select all of them at once, you start from the top left, go to the bottom right, that will select everything within that window. Got it? So even if I'm just touching it, so watch what happens if I do that, and you can see what it's going to select, because when I go over, see how it highlights those lines? So now I'm selecting those lines right there. I haven't selected that guy right there. So if I do this, now I'm only going to move those lines, and I'm not going to move that one. Got it? Okay, so that's one way of doing it. I'm going to go move, again, another way of selecting these, if I want to select one line, if I want to select this line and not the others, if I go from left to right, it will only select what is completely in that box. Let's see. Come on. Try that again. There we go. So now, and it's a different color box, isn't it? See that?
So that one's only going to move the right line.
So it's only going to move that one line. So let me try this again. Move, select object. It's not letting me do it, is it? Yeah, there we go. See that? So two different, so that's one window there where we select everything that's in there, and the other way is that. Okay. So let's go ahead and move this guy, and I'm going to select everything. right there. And I'm just going, and then it says, if you read down here, it says select objects. I have the objects I want to move. When I'm done selecting, because it lets you select as many as you want. When you hit enter, when I'm done selecting, and now it says a base point. That's where you kind of you're grabbing it, and you can grab it anywhere, right? I mean, you can be off the screen. You don't have to grab it on the object. So I'm going to grab it right here. And I'm just going to eyeball this and see how it's moving the whole thing. I'm just going to eyeball this and say, that looks pretty close to centered there. I'm not going to take a scale and check whether you're centered on, okay? But my eye is pretty doggone good, okay? So I will use my eye. If I see it kind of skewed, then I might ding a little bit on that. So get that kind of close, okay? Get a good looking in there. Okay, so I'm there. Okay. Now, for the standard plan, I tell you in there that the walls are 6 inches thick. When you're doing the concrete block, how thick are they going to be? 8, right. So I want 6-inch walls. I've done the outside, haven't I? So I need to do the inside. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, there's a couple ways of doing that. Probably the easiest way for you guys right now, there's a little thing called offset right here. And so I click that. That's another command, offset command. And if you hold it over there, it kind of shows you how to do it, right? And I'm going to show you that right now. Offset, and then it says specify the distance you want to offset it. Well, I want this line again, and I want it how far further this direction? 6 inches. So I'm going to hit 6. Do I have to hit inches?
Yes.
I don't have to if I'm only doing inches. So I can hit 6 and hit enter. And it knows I mean inches. Now if I want it 1 foot 6 inches, then I have to hit feet and inches, right? But if I'm only doing 6 inches, just hit 6, enter, and now it says, okay, what object do you want to offset? I'm going to do this guy here, and you see as I go over it, it highlights it, click, and look what it does. And I could go either side. Well, I want to go to the inside. Click, click. I don't even need to do the command again. It just keeps going on that command. So all I'm doing is pulling these lines 6 inches to the interior. See that? When you're all done, hit escape. You're out of the command. There you have your walls. Okay? I want to trim up these walls so they're nice and square, just like on the outside. You don't have these lines going here. There's a command here. It says fill it right now, but there's another option that says chamfer. And I'm going to do that. That kind of bevels the corner. But I have the chamfer distance set for 0. So what it's going to do is it's going to square it off. So it's not going to bevel it. It's actually going to square it off. Okay. So if your distance is 0, 0, then it's going to square that thing off. And so I'm going to come over here, and I will select that line, and my distance wasn't 0, 0. I lied. Okay, so I'm going to go, no, I don't want this. I want chamfer, and I'm going to do distance. So D for distance, right there. Hit enter, and I don't want 4 inches. I want 0, and hit enter. And it automatically defaults the second chamfer distance to 0, and then that's what I want as well. And now let's try and see what it looks like. There and there. See how it squares that off now? So that's square. I hit enter, if I hit enter now, what it does is it repeats the last command. Enter, and I don't need to reset the distance. It automatically goes to the last distance you had. So I'm just squaring off those corners. See that? Right there. And right there. Okay? And then when you're done with that, escape, get you out of that command. Not too bad so far, huh? Okay. Now, I want to come and put windows and doors in this thing. So this door here is from the outside 3 feet, and it is a 3-foot door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset that wall line, offset again, and I'm going to offset. Now I'm going to hit just 3, right?
Yeah.
No. 3 foot. Yeah, I want 3 foot. So I can put 36 for inches if I want to. But I'm going to put 3 foot, 3 feet, hit enter. And now I'm going to offset this guy here. And because it's a 3-foot door, I'm going to offset another 3 feet. Got it? Okay. Hit escape to get out of that. Okay. But yeah, I don't want those lines going all the way across, do I? No. I need to trim those. Okay. So there is a function on here called trim right there. And it says trims objects to meet the edges or other objects and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to hit trim, and I'm just going to select the whole mess, the whole stinking mess. So everything I've touched is on there. Okay? And so it's going to use all of those lines as trimming lines. And if you have that selection, it says OK, hit enter, and now it says OK, now select the objects you want to trim. So I'm going to trim that guy there, that there, but I also want to trim, I don't want thick wall lines going across the opening. So I'm going to trim that, and I'm going to trim that. Got it? When I'm done with that, escape. Okay? Let's take a look at this guy here. I have for this window 5 feet, and it is a looks like a 5 foot 8 inch window. Okay, so I'm going to offset. I'm going to go 5 feet right there. Hit escape, and now I'm going to offset again, but now I'm going to go 5 feet dash 8 inches. See that? And now there's that guy. Okay? See that? And now I want to trim these guys, so I can either come up here and hit trim, or I can hit TR. TR gets you to trim. TR, hit enter. Select those guys. Hit enter. And I'll select that guy, and that guy. So for Windows, and hit escape, get out of there. So for Windows, your wall line goes through, because on a window, we're just breaking the wall plane for the window. Here, your wall doesn't go through, does it? Right, okay. So there we have that located, and now we have 2 windows here. This first one is 5 feet, 2 foot 2 inch window, 2 foot window maybe, 18 inches. Let's say these are 2 foot windows. So I'll go 5 feet, 2 feet, 18 inches, and 2 feet. Okay. So I'm going to offset again, and my offset, I'm going to offset 5 feet. 5 feet. Enter. From there up to there, and I'm going to enter. If I hit enter again, it's going to go back into this offset command again. Enter and then enter. And now instead of 5 feet, I'm going to enter 24 inches or 2 feet. 24 gives me inches, right? Is 2 feet, same thing. And so there it is right there. And I'm going to hit enter, enter, and I have 18 inches. Enter. And then enter, enter, and I'm going to go 24 for the next window. There to there. Okay. Hit escape. And now I'm going to trim, TR for trim. And I'm going to select all of that. And I'm going to select that line, that line, that line, that line, there, and there. Hit escape. Okay. Come back in, and we don't want as thick a line. We want a medium line for that window. So we're going to change that to cyan. Okay. And let's do a line. But now I want to go from the middle of that. How am I going to do that? How did I go to the end of that other line? Remember? I did what? Shift, right, click, right? Oh, by the way, a lot of drawing programs, and actually other programs too, if you do shift and right click, it gives you a context sensitive menu. What that means is it knows what the command is you're in, it knows what you're trying to do, and so what it does is it gives you options pertaining to that command. So that means it's within the same context. So right now, I'm going to do a line. I'm going to specify the first point, shift, right click, and I'm going to go from the midpoint of this to the midpoint of that. Shift, right click, midpoint. There, and hit escape. Got it? So you can do the same thing here. You can actually do that line, or since I know those 2 windows are the same size, I'll show you the copy command. So copy command, you can do CO for copy, or you can hit copy up there, either way. And I want to copy this guy, okay? But if I just do that, it says select objects. Okay, I've selected the object. Now it says your base point. Well, if I do this, now I'm trying to line that up, and it's a little tough to get right. Gosh, I just can't get it right on there. So I'm going to try this again. Copy. I'm going to select that guy. Right? Watch what I do. Again, shift, right mouse, and I'm going to go from the intersection here So I know I'm right at that intersection. And I'm going to go to the intersection, corresponding intersection right there. See that? So I know this is in the right location. Done. Hit escape, you're done. Okay, do the same thing for that. For this guy here, you're going to get the door in there, and so so you can do a line up there. You get a door swing, circle that door swinging that way, and so oh, by the way, for the door swing, for the door itself, do this line here yellow. So that line across there is going to be the threshold line. Do that yellow. It's not going to be as thick as that. Do the door cyan and leave yourself a little bit of gap for the thickness of the door. And then the arc, we're just showing the arc for that door. Do that in red. Got it? And so I'll come back up here. If I want to do this line, I'll do that in yellow line. And I'm going to go from the intersection. Again, I did the shift right click. The intersection there, the intersection there. See that? Hit escape. That's the line. So, but I want to do the door swing in what? Red, right? Come down here, red. And I want to do, you can do an arc. I'm going to do a circle. So I'm going to do a circle, and it says specify the center point, shift, right click, because I want to go right from that corner there, and I want to go over to that corner right there. Okay? Shift, right click, intersection right there. There's your circle. Got it? And then I want to draw the door, and so I'm going to do that line there. I'm going to do a line from right there all the way up. Now, again, that shift right click, if I hold shift down, right click, another option it gives me, if I'm dealing with circles, I can go to the quadrant. Quadrant is the top, the right hand side, the bottom, and the left hand side, straight across in the Cartesian coordinates. So I'm going to go right up to the top of that. So I'm going to come over here and hit quadrant right there. So I did the shift, right click, quadrant. Oops. Try that again. I didn't get close enough. Or did I? Oh, I did. Okay. So there it is. Okay. And now you can trim. I usually offset that a little bit and offset that a little bit. It looks a little bit better, but yeah. So I'm going to trim the circle to those two lines. So I hit TR for trim, select those two lines, and then trim the circle to those two lines. There you go. Got it? Okay, get the line in there for that window and everything there too. Got it? Any questions? Okay, let's dimension this thing. Dimension, and basically you're done with the first one. Okay, I was nice enough, I set up dimensions and everything for you too. Thank you, Mr. Zamora. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that. Remember the copy command? Well, I can do one of two things. I can go up here and copy, right? Copy right there. Or you hit CO for copy. And I'm going to copy this dimension. Just bring it in here. Leave it up there, you know, leave that one up there, and I'm going to just bring it down here. Just anywhere around here, okay? And you can do a couple of them if you want to. Let's do one down here too. Let's put one over on this side and one over on this side. So I have one on each side, okay? Well, this dimension is kind of set up the way I want it to be. Well, this one down here, it's not, is it? So what I want to do is I want to rotate this dimension. So rotate, select that dimension there, hit enter. It says select object. So if you want to select more than one object, you can, but this is the only one I'm going to do right now. Right there, and I'm going to specify the base point right there, and I'm going to go 180 degrees. So I'm going to go 180, 180. And see what it did? It switched my extension lines around for me, didn't it? Right? And it put the text properly on top of that. See that? Automatically. Done for you, right? Okay? So this guy here, I'm going to rotate it. Rotate that guy. How much?
90.
90. I want to go 90. By the way, it rotates. If I go positive, it's going to go counterclockwise. If I go negative, it goes the other direction. Okay? So look at that. So it tells you, and you can see the degrees you're going right here, right? I don't want to go 180. Where's that? Let me see. Let's try this again. It's not showing it to me. I should be seeing it. Let me try that again. I don't see it. Well, anyway, I want to go 90, right? 90, there it is. And this one, I don't want to go 90, I want to go the other direction, so what do? I rotate it what? Negative 90. Rotate. Minus 90. Enter. See that? So now I have dimensions all on there, okay? So here, let me do this string here because this one's probably going to be the most complicated for you, okay? So let me do this guy here. So first of all, I'm going to just move this guy and just put it where I want it. Now, I'm not even doing, I don't even have any command. Escape, bunch of escapes, I'm not even in a command. All I'm going to do is I'm going to, well, actually, yeah, I'm going to move this guy. So I'm going to move, and I'm going to select that dimension right there. Got it? Hit enter, because that's what I want to move. And then it says, again, your base point. Well, if you take a look, there are two little dots. So your lines are going this way. There's two little dots. Those are called nodes, N-O-D-E-S. And so I want to make sure that node is on the corner I want it to dimension. So for my base point, I'm going to select that node. Well, guess what? Shift, right mouse key, and an option I have is node. See that? Click that, and now if I come over there, puts a little circle with X on it, and it tells me I'm at a node. So I'm going to select that right at the node there, and I'm going to move it. I want right on that corner. How do I get it right on that corner? Shift, right click, intersection. Very good. Right
If you
there.
use endpoint, would it not make it the same?
Huh?
If you did endpoint?
You can do endpoint, yeah. Because those are individual lines, no problem. You can do endpoint on that too. Sure. Okay? Now, okay. But the problem is, this is not what I want, is it? No. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that right there. And now, if you take a look, it has those little boxes on there. Those are called grips. And so that's where you can kind of grab it and move it. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to come down where this grip is on that node there, and I'm going to select, when you get it right over, it'll have that red box on it now. See that? Click, left click, and now look what happens. I can move that wherever I want, right? But look what happens to your dimension. It automatically changes it. See that? So I'm going to go Shift, right mouse key, and just to appease Janae here, I'm going to go to the endpoint of this line right here. Click. Hit escape. There you go. Got it? Okay. So let's say I want to put dimensions all across here. Okay. So what I want to do here is I want to copy this. So I'm going to go CO, and I'm going to go from, I'm going to select that guy, hit enter. That's what I want to copy. And so I'm going to go from this corner, this intersection here. And I want to go, I want to dimension that window there, so I'm going to go to that window there. I'm going to go from, and I'm going to do that wall, so I'm going to do to that corner. I'm going to do to that corner, intersection there. I'm going to go to this door here and this one right here. Oh my gosh, they're overlapping. They're all the same. What's going on? Hit escape. All I did is just got them on there. Now we'll change them. Okay, so right here, node, intersection, that one's done. Hit escape. Click, node, intersection, escape. Click. Now watch. Node, I'm going to come back to there. So intersection, escape. Right here, node, I'm going to do two things here. So I'm going to have to move this guy from there to there, okay? But I also need to move this, so I'm going to move this down to intersection where the other one is, right there. See that? Click. See that? Okay. And this guy, I need to now select that and go to that corner, intersection there, and then pull that guy down to there. Got it? Pretty easy, huh? Not bad. Yeah, piece of cake. Okay. Okay. So now I need to do, so right here so I've got the door and window string in there, so that's fine. But now I need to get the, well, what other strings am I gonna need here? Overall, okay. Well, because I have just a single wall up here, I'm gonna put the overall up on the top. So I put it on the top, do I need to put it on the bottom? No, just put in one spot.
How would you put it on the bottom?
If I'm going to do some other dimensions on the bottom. So what other dimensions do I have? If you remember, if you take a look at this,
And a
we
major
have
jog.
window and door string, right? Wall strings, we don't have any interior walls, no big deal. And the next one out is major jog. So here I'm stepping the building back, right? So I'm going to have a major jog string down here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy again this guy here, but now I'm going to move, copy it from this intersection. So shift right in from that intersection right there to right there, okay? And I'm just gonna kind of eyeball this guy, and I'm gonna move this up a little bit so it's a little closer. Right about there looks pretty good, okay? And then I'm gonna copy this, so I'm gonna CO, and I'm gonna go from intersection here to right here. Intersection right there, okay? Because what I want is I want that dimension and then I want that dimension. I want the two major jogs in there. You guys who do framing, you guys you know this, right? When you're laying stuff out, do you lay out to the center walls? When you snap a chalk line on slab, what do you snap to? One side or another, right? Okay. So, contrary to what your book had in Architecture 12, when I teach my students dimensioning, you dimension to the face of framing. Because when they're building the walls, that's what you do, right? Well, in this case, we have outside the building, and this is outside facing the building too. So, we're naturally going to go that. So now I'm going to click there, click that guy, and I'm going to move this guy from there to intersection right there. Okay. Escape. Yep, one. So, and then if you check, 3'4" and 5'8" gives me what there? 9 feet, right?
9 feet.
Right. And another 5 gives me 14 feet. See that? So it automatically does that for you. I'm going to click that guy there, and I'm going to move from there to that intersection right there. Hit escape. Do dimension on that side. Okay? So my overall is going to go up here, move that over there, get the overall dimension here. Here, what are you going to have?
Windows.
Just a door and window string, right? Do you have any interior walls? No. Do we have any jogs over on that side? No. Okay. So maybe you do door and window string. If you want to do the overall there, you can. Okay. Over here, what are you going to have? Do you have any doors and windows in that wall or that wall? No. So no door or window string. Any interior walls? No. What else do you have? Major jog. So you're going to have a major jog string, and then if you want to put an overall there, you can. Okay. It's either your overall either goes here or here. Don't put them both. One place or another. Okay. Once you do that, you've got that named. You can have everything done there. You save it. Okay.
And that's the first one?
Come here and save, because you've already saved it, right? Where you needed it to be, right? Okay. And then what you can do is you can go back after you're done with all of this, and then go back and now we're going to do save as. So there's a difference. There's save and save as. Save, it just saves it like it is with the same name. Got it? Okay. To do the second one now, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to go file. I'm going to go save as drawing, and now instead of standard drawing, I'm going to have block, B-L-O-C-K.
So the first one automatically saved already?
First one's already saved as standard. I'm coming back. I'm gonna do save as now, and the save as, and now it's called block. So this is the different ones. It's not the standard plan again. It's going to be the what did I tell you to call it? Modular block. Yeah. So this to change it again, ED to change. By the way, once you do this, you don't need to change that again. You've already done it, right? I just need to change the name of this thing from standard plan, and I'm going to go and I'm going to highlight that right there. I'm going to say modular. Oops. modular block plan. Okay, and hit enter when I'm happy with it. Hit escape to get out of that. Hit it a few times you want. Okay. Now I don't need all this stuff again, so I'm going to just do this. I'm going to erase. So you can erase whatever you want to erase. I'm going to erase all of this here, and I'll erase that and that. E for erase, and so I'm just have that right there. Okay. What I'm going to do is, okay, so I'm going to erase that right here. You know, I'm just draw a line from that point because it's fairly well centered, isn't it? So I don't want to mess around with moving it necessarily. Endpoint, and I'm going to come straight down. I'm going to hit F8. Keep that straight down. Okay, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to erase. I'm going to erase that guy there. So now I have the point at which I'm going to start the modular block building. What? Is there a question?
No.
Ask questions if you have them.
Are you gonna explain
I
the
don't got
measurements?
questions.
Okay.
Are you gonna explain the measurements for doing modular?
Yeah, that's what I was going to do right now. So what you're going to do is you're going to now take this and you're going to look at it and say, okay, well that's 22 foot 6 inches, right? Is that a modular block dimension?
No.
No. So the next closest modular dimension going up would be what?
22.8,
22.8. The next modular dimension going down would be what?
22.4.
22.
No, 22, right? 22, exactly.
Oh,
You're right.
Right?
4 is
So
not
my choices, if I'm looking at that for modular block, my choices are 22 feet and 22 feet 8, correct? Right. Well, I told you on this, on your handout, that your long dimension here is going to be 22 feet 8, right? So I told you that dimension. So we're going to go down, or we're going to go across. Oh, by the way, I want to make this a white wall, so we make this white. And a line, and so we're going to start right at that end there. Shift, right click, endpoint, right there, and I'm going to go 22 feet 8 inches. 22 feet dash 8 inches. Enter. There it is. Got it?
And you're
Now,
going 8 because it's closest to 6?
well, I told you.
Oh, you said.
Yeah, but yes, it is closest to 6, right. You're right. So what we're doing, and like I said, go through this before you even do this and write down all those dimensions and make sure they add up correctly. So that way you're not having to figure this out as we go. But I'm doing this as we go. Okay, so this distance here is 12 foot 2 inches, or 12 foot 4, right? So the closest dimension to that would be what? About 12 foot, right? Would be the next block dimension. So I'm going to go 12 feet, 12, and hit the foot mark. Enter there. This distance here is 8 foot 6, so we'll go 8 foot 8, right?
Yeah.
And so we'll go 8 feet dash 8 inches. See what I'm doing? Yeah, so you just do that all the way around and get to all of those dimensions in modular blocks. Make sure your openings are modular block dimensions. So now that 3 foot door is not 3 foot anymore, it's what? 3 foot what?
3 foot 4.
3 foot 4, exactly. Got it? So make sure all of those dimensions are now block dimensions, okay? So you're gonna do all your walls, get all those on there. But now the thickness of the wall is gonna be what? 8 inches, exactly. So, yeah, so I'm gonna erase this here. So, and so you're gonna offset, and we're gonna go 8, hit enter, and offset, just like that. Okay, trim it up, get all that drawn. Okay. Okay. So after you get all of that done, just like you did on the other floor plan, right? Get it all done. We're going to come in here. We're going to do a hatch. I'm going to show you how to do this. So I'm only going to do this little portion. When you get all your walls, you can do all the whole wall at one time. And our hatches, we're going to make it red. So I'm going to get that back on red. And there's a little thing right here, and it's called hatch. I'm going to hit hatch there. And I think I already have it set. Well, no, I don't. It's a little bit small. I have the right hatch pattern. I just want a 45-degree angle on the hatch. So I'm going to hit that right there. So after you have your dimensions and everything, come back and do this. And take a look. That's real close, isn't it? So let's make this, let's try, if we put that at 6 inches, and now take a look at what it looks like. 6 and enter. There we go. Now come back over here. That's a little bit better. Let's try 12.
What are you changing?
I'm changing up here this right here, and that changes the scale of the hatch. So I'm going to try 12, and I'm just finding something that looks pretty good. That's not too bad. Let's try 18. And enter. That looks pretty good. See that? So it hatches that for a concrete block wall all at one time. Click, hit escape, walls are hatched. Got it? Okay. You don't hatch through the windows or the door or anything, just your concrete block walls. And like I say, when you trim that out, it'll do the whole thing all at once. Wherever it's closed in, it'll do the whole thing all at once. Okay? So you'll have to do it a couple times. You'll have to do it, so it will hatch this part all at once. It will hatch this part all at once, this all at once, and then this all at once. By the way, you could actually do the hatch command, and you could select that, and what you do is you just select the inside of that. So let me do that again. Say, by the way, if you do something wrong and you want to get rid of it, Control Z backs you up, just like in those programs. Control Z, right, gets rid of that. Okay, so I'm going to hit escape again. Let's do the hatch. I'll show you that again. Hatch, and right now, that's correct. I'm going to set this to 18. 18, enter. And if you see, now it says pick internal point. So I'm going to pick the internal point of that wall. If I pick right there, the internal point of that, it only does that little portion, right? Oh, by the way, I can do that portion, click, click, click. You can do all of them at once if you want to. Okay? Or you can do them individually. It's up to you. Okay? And hit escape, and that's how you can hatch those, right? Do all of that and you're good to go. Okay?
One quick question.
Yes.
Or are we gonna clean that corner up like we did?
Yes, you will.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, go through, do all your walls, do your, just like you had the other drawing. Once you're done, come back and do your hatch last.
Okay.
Okay? So after it's all done, do the hatch last. Okay. Now, let's print. So so you're going to save this. Save. See that? Saved it. It's all saved. Okay. So now I'm going to come back. How do you pull up a drawing? I'm going to come back over here. Let me go ahead and get rid of this. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to pull up that first drawing we had. Okay? And I'm going to show you how to print this. Got it? By the way, it will actually have your recent documents you have on here. And you see I have Architecture 22 Standard right there. See that? Okay. But I'm going to hit Open Files. And I'm going to go to my USB drive here. And then I'm going to go down to... I thought I had it on here somewhere. Oh yeah, Architecture 22 Standard, right there. Click, open. There it is. See that? Okay. The template I'm going to send you guys. By the way, I'm going to send it to you on your thing. That's why, yeah, that's why you really want a flash drive, because what you'll do is save that off of that. By the way, when I send that, save it right away as that as a template. Don't mess with the template. Bring that template in and save it as just like I showed you, right? Okay. So you don't screw up that template. You always have that template ready to go. With the template, I already have all of this set up for you. I already have limits set up for you as well. And so to print, if I want to print this guy here, I'm going to go to this, and I'm going to go down to print, and I'm going to plot. Click. Okay. It says this plotter configuration cannot be used for one or more reasons. Driving it cannot be found. Hopefully this will work well. Okay, so we'll see. Printer plotter, right now it has none. I'm going to select AT302-P1 right there. Click. Okay. And I don't want letter size. I want 11 by 17. Right now it has 8.5 by 11. I want 11 by 17. Click down here and click 11 by 17. And for plot area, I don't want display, I want limits. Make sure you check limits, okay? Because I already set limits off for you. If limits are set on there, then we're good. Center the plot, correct. I want to center that plot. Fit to paper? No, I want to scale. What scale do I want? 1/4 inch equals a foot scale. Right down there. 1/4 inch equals 1 foot scale. See that? Okay. plot style table. And on that, I want you to use 1/4 inch, right there, 1/4 inch CTB. Now what that does is, it says CTB is a color table. What that does is it tells the computer, okay, for red, I want this thickness line. For cyan, I want this thickness line. And so remember the colors I gave you before? That goes with what's going on there. So I'm gonna go 1/4 inch right there. And assign this plot to all layouts, yes. And if you want to check it, you can come down here. Oh, by the way, I'm on landscape down here. Plot object line weights, checked. Plot with plot styles, checked. And then we'll do a preview. You hit a preview, and it says the annotation scale is not equal. Don't worry about that. Just hit continue, and there it is. You see how we have different line thicknesses in there? And again, you can window in, take a look at that. See the different line thicknesses? See? On there. And so it's set up, everything, once you have everything in there, it looks pretty good. You'll have your name on there and everything ready to go, right? If it looks good, just hit enter and click OK. And again, it gives you that same thing. Click continue. Hopefully, you're going, right? Can you do me a favor and go grab the sheet over there? Okay, now don't be plotting a whole bunch of these. Got it? Make sure, use that preview, check everything before you plot, and print it once, because it costs me paper and ink, right? Right. So, okay, thank you. So there you have it. Got it? Any questions at all?
Is this due today?
Is it due today? When's it due?
Couple classes.
I didn't say?
Yeah.
Okay. I said a couple sessions, so probably today and then probably Monday by end of class.
Okay.
Got it? That means you need to leave time to print. Okay? Because we get close to that quitting time on 4:20. I'm gonna say print. Yeah, and I have control over here. I just turn that thing off. Yeah. Yeah, then it's late. So make sure you leave some time for printing, okay? So, like I said, you can download this if you have a computer at home. Your students, you can get that for free. You need your student ID and student email address to do that. And if you get AutoCAD Lite, you're good to go. Okay, so what's going to happen now, I'm going to go ahead and just get out of this. And I don't want to save it. I already have it. I'm good. Okay, what I'm going to do is, and I have this thing right down here. And so I'm gonna tell you, when you get back to your stations, fire your computers up. Make sure they're going. I'm gonna wait a few minutes, and what happens is I can see all of your computers here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send the template file to your desktop. Got it? Okay. And so I'll tell you, okay, I've sent it. When I do that, get onto your desktop, save that to your flash drive right away, because I'm sending it one time. I'm not sending it a whole bunch of times. If you don't get it now, then what you're gonna have to do is borrow somebody's flash drive and get off their flash drive. Got it? Okay. Otherwise, I'd be sending it all day long for you guys. Okay? Not gonna do that. So everything is set up for you. I tried to make this as simple as possible, and I'll upload this to Canvas, and we'll go at that. Okay? Okay. Like I said, after this, if you want to do the rest of your drawings by hand, I'm fine with that.